All right. Well, hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. I am Cassie Brown, and joining me is Sarah, Robert, and Josh. I will give them official introductions in a few minutes as everyone settles in, gets their volume and cameras where they want them to be over the next 30 minutes to an hour as we get to have some fun with Zaria. So, Josh, Robert, Sarah, are you guys ready?
Oh yeah.
Ready?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. This is going to be so fun. I have to say it's an honor to be here and sharing. I got to meet you guys in person in January, but I feel like the first connection was November, December. I got to really see the behind the scenes and everything that Zaria had been laying the foundation for, like on average, like clockwork, 6 months ahead of every other AI, ChatGPT, Claude projects, all of that. So as everyone settles in, I just want to say hello and welcome. Thank you for being here. Vicky is from Claremont. Thank you so much for saying hello. And for everyone else joining us, if you guys could just follow Vicky's lead, this is meant to be highly interactive. We want to say, Mark, oh my gosh, like big virtual hugs to you, my friend. Yes, California. Sunny, I love you, Sunny. I'm so excited for everybody to get to meet Sunny. And the thing is, a lot of us know each other virtually or in person. So this is going to be highly fueled with just personal connection. And I want to lay a little bit of foundation before I share my screen and we go in the slides and everybody gets settled in. The goal with this is for you to actually have an advocate and an AI and almost like a coding partner. And I want you to get to know Josh and Robert in a way where it's like, these are just good people to have and know in my network. Same with Sarah and literally probably everybody who's joining us as an attendee. All of us have shared personal invitations. This is not something that has been on ads or publicly released. So it's a really intimate group here. And a lot of people for the first time are getting a sneak peek at it. Mark has had a sneak peek at it and has given us some feedback already. So I'm super, super excited. As I get everything geared up, Sarah, Josh, Robert, anything that you guys want to say to welcome everybody as we get the ball rolling here?
I only to say that we've been looking forward to this for since we started putting this together. The four of us. I mean, I said on your page there, I'm wound up tight as a drum here because I know what's coming. This is super stuff, and I'm hoping that we're going to have a lot of wows and stuff. And also to say, the personal thing is, I mean, we connected in the US when we came over and spoke at the underground. It was, so, and I see there's friends in there, Mark, for instance, we've been at events before. So yeah, super excited.
Thank you, Robert. Sarah, Josh?
Well, I'm really excited to be here. I definitely recognize a lot of the names in chat, a lot of customers that we've had for years, sometimes for decades for some of our other products. So welcome everyone. We're glad that you're here. Over the next 3 days, we're going to show you what we've built and we're going to talk about what we're working on. It's really exciting. I think we're ahead of a lot of the competition in the field of AI, and I think it's really going to impact everyone's business and really going to change the world.
Yeah, I had definitely have to agree with that. I mean, I'm probably the newest one to be using Zaria on a regular basis and, in my business. And let me tell you, as a software tester, beta tester, I've done lots of beta testing over the years. But this, let me just say, I'm not going to give away the secret yet, but just be prepared to have your mind blown. You're
Yeah.
in for 3 awesome mini workshop days, and yeah, be prepared to have your mind blown.
Yes. So with that, let's dive in because we do want to really have this hands-on. You guys feel free when we get to the interactive workshop builds, like we can move everyone. If you, I know we're in a webinar feature, so we may have to move some people to panelists if we want them to come on camera and unmute and things like that when we get to the workshop portion of things. So Sarah, I might need your help with that. And let me go ahead. Okay, Kim, quick question. No, you don't have to make it all 3 days. We are going to have replays and everything like that. So you are in the system. You're following along here. You are going to get activated in some codes to access some of the software that we're going to be sharing. So if we check that off today, Kim, then you should be good to go. I just want to make sure that you get all logged in and access of everything. So before I really dive in here, can you guys see my slides?
Yep.
And is it just my slides?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Awesome. So what we're going to be doing today is building your AI team, leveraging the future that is literally at our fingertips right here in this present moment with Zaria. And it's really, really cool. It is integrated with ChatGPT and Claude, and you'll see kind of behind the scenes some of the things that we love, but just the dynamic in-depth control that we have using this product for, I guess I am 3-4 months in, and I just absolutely love it. I look at this as an unlimited unfair advantage because we live in a time where all of the technology advances with AI. It is rapid every single day. So if you came into this thinking, well, I'm not an expert, I don't know everything, guess what? There's no one on the planet that is an expert who does absolutely know everything. We are literally rolling in real time with everything that is happening and going on. But the thing is, there is a universal truth in business at this point of AI integration in our businesses. If we do not start implementing now, we are going to be like years and years and then decades behind. It's just like if you guys can remember back when social media, online, and advertising started exploding, like the medium of advertising and marketing changed forever. And there were some people who were very, very, they were early adapters and, the OG, YouTubers and all of that type of stuff. And they've mastered the platforms and they rank consistently highly in the algorithms just because they were early adopters. They were not experts, but they didn't miss the wave of opportunity. So we don't want you to miss the wave of opportunity. So before we get started, this is an interactive workshop. So we want you to scan this if you have a smartphone or if you're on your desktop or whatever you're at, go to that link. And Sarah, if you could help me put the direct link in the chat.
It's there.
And okay, perfect. Make sure that you have your Zaria account and that you use the code word for day one. Can you put that in the chat too? The code word for day one to add additional credits in your account is Zaria. And Josh, did we say if that was case sensitive or does it matter?
It shouldn't matter. All
Okay.
lowercase would definitely work, but it should work either way.
Okay. All right. Let me get the chat up
Just
here.
to say, if people are already have an account because they've already done that, there's no need to do it a second time.
No need to do it a second time. If you've already done this, you don't need to. If you've already created your username and account, then they're set and good to go, right?
But that's right. But there's already that's just been given out, so you need to log in and add that so you can play along.
Add the code. Okay, perfect. All right, you guys. I do have my chat up to the side. And if you guys could just let me know as we kind of go through, I am going to go ahead and keep going, but just let me know, good to go, got it. Yes, I see it. I found it. If you have any troubleshooting, please let us know in the chat. If you're not seeing this, and Sarah is just our on deck unicorn. She is just so good at everything. And I know that she can walk you through it in just a matter of clicks. So over the next 3 days, we are going to show you how to duplicate you, how to leverage AI team members, like so much beyond AI agents. The way that this is set up to pass it from team member to team member and organize projects, it's just so satisfying. And so I really want to encourage you right now to think of a project over these next 3 days, maybe that you've been wanting to get done, thinking about getting done, putting on the back burner, and literally bring it today and tomorrow and Friday, and let's get it done. We're also going to cover AI innovations. Like I said, the pace is it's like breakneck speed. And Josh, I have absolutely just fallen in love with Josh and Robert because they're marketers They've been in the business for over a couple of decades. So the way that they look at this software and built their original LFM software was, how can we create automations to make more money for us with the skill set and the knowledge and the audience that we already have? So that same outlook applies to AI, but also there is so many other integrations that Josh is on the forefront with integrating. And it's faster because it's a smaller company. It's so much faster than, and it's set up differently for entrepreneurs and businesses, a little bit different. This is not to replace ChatGPT or to compete with Claude, though you could, depending on how you use it, but it is literally going to change your workflows. And we want to share with you the innovations and what's coming, what's available currently, and what's coming in the future. So that we check that fourth box permanently. Like we have certain systems and processes and tools in our arsenal that help us be fluid for the future and the progressive nature of AI. So who is this not for? This is sort of like a no assholes policy. Anyone that doesn't want to use AI to make their business better, anyone that doesn't want to learn to use AI software, anyone that can't sit through short sessions with AI team members. And essentially, it is, I think it is one of those universal truths where it's like this, like the internet. We have to have AI integrated into our business, and even in some services and offers with our clients to fulfill it. And the multiplier is absolutely wild. Okay. All right. So just to emphasize this even more, you learn how to do all of this by yourself with poorly written documents, right? Like I believe over the last 2 years, all of us have seen these ChatGPT Bibles, these super prompts, these like steal my whatever. And that's great, but it doesn't always apply to your niche, your voice, your offer, the way that you want to do business. And so like it'll get you to a starting point, but you still have to do a lot of tweaking and then you have to start over every single time. And even if you do keep it in the same running project, the recall deteriorates, right? Or we can set up new AI teams step by step here and show you not only how to leverage the project organization system, but literally bring these team of experts. It is like you now have the same power at your fingertips as a Fortune 500 company that may have 200 employees, right? We have experts at our disposal that we don't have to be the genius. We don't have to be the smartest person in the room. And a matter of fact, like it feels so good when I'm not the smartest person in the room. It's crazy, the confidence that you can just approach a project with now. And when I started working on this, I made myself a rule, like anything that I would take to ChatGPT or I would take to Claude, I would open up Zaria and I would see what I would do. And I am lazy AF when it comes to prompts, to feeding information and all of this type of stuff. And this has just made it even easier for me because I literally get to type in a couple of sentences and it already has a ton of data or history that I've already uploaded. So you'll see that. And I want to just kind of give a quick hat tip to Robert and Josh as the founders here. And you'll hear about George Shepard as well. He's not here with us live, but I believe he's going to be with us on Friday, right, Josh?
I believe so. He's going to
Okay.
try to make it.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, he's running a million miles a minute. So hopefully he'll be able to be here because he saw the potential of this genius that was already in production and added his genius and a beautiful magical AI baby was born. So Josh has like decades of experience and I just want to highlight here, like he has been in the AI systems game for 11 years now. And I think he captures it. And sometimes we'll talk about some things or some features and literally 2 days later, he'll be like, yeah, look at what I've built or what the prototype that we have. So if you want to read all of those words, they're there, but I'm just going to straight up tell you, he is an awesome human and an amazing person and genius. Robert Putty, also over there from across the pond. I love listening to his accent. And we always have our meetings after he's taken his beautiful wife to dinner. So I love the family values that they have had. His grandson actually uses this software, and I love hearing all of the stories. But it's essentially Josh and Robert started working together and found a way to integrate email marketing with their business, a platform and a website, blog, all of the things that essentially built and ran itself like High Level before High Level was a thing. So it's incredible to see the background experience and expertise that they've been able to make money with over the years for their own business and applied through the way most businesses work with an AI team and a project management system like Zaria. George, if you don't know George, he is just one of the OGs in the space. He actually created summits, some of the first summits before it was a business model or marketing launch concept. His first summit was how to drum, and it's just been incredible. It's still kind of in the top slot of musicians learning how to drum. And, he's went on to create incredible online and virtual team spaces, leads 360 summits, leads an incredible survivor community, and prepper. That's what it is. I'm like, what is that word? He does a lot of events, and he is just really well connected in the online sales, marketing, info product business expert and mastermind space. So like he's continuously gets like thousands of points of reference and inputs, not only in his personal experience, but in the networks. So at this point, you might find yourself asking, what is Zaria, right? And it is a AI tool built by entrepreneurs for entrepreneurs, but that's super, super simple. And we really want to show you behind the scenes and under the hood. I think I went ahead and got ahead of myself with the origin story. And I want to hold a little bit of space here for Robert and Josh, which you guys saw the opportunity really early on based on the LFM model that you had created and were running essentially all of your businesses. You've got customers here that are joining us live that have literally been in your world for decades, which absolutely speaks to the level of customer service that you guys have. But you just want to share really, really quickly, like what that little spark looked and felt like in the beginning?
Yeah, it's the LFM system is basically, it runs a membership site, and the dream was to have an AI to run that membership site to do everything. It could create pages for you. It could write code for you. It could create plugins for it. It could create all the sorts of stuff. So people who have no idea how to do coding can just go in and say, I want you to build me this. I want this on my website, and explain what it is they want, and for that AI to build it. Okay, that was the origin of it. We went to a Ken MacArthur's event about 18 months ago, maybe a little longer. And that was where we met George and Mark. Mark was there, Mark Zelensky. And we sat down and showed people this. George looked at me and went, that's $100 million company you got there. I went, really? Okay. Well, okay, put your money where your mouth is. Let's make a partnership. We'll go, equals on it, and we'll build this on the outside. And it's been 14 months building, but it was all built on the fact that we wanted automation for our membership sites, complete automation. And so Zaria really has a big brother, which we may bring out another webinar.
Yeah.
But that was how it got started. And I retired, I don't know, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and just gave Josh, you run the business, just pay me a pension out of it. I said, but if you ever come up with something exciting enough to get me back off my backside and go flying across the US again and doing stuff like that, I'll come out of retirement. And he went and done it. So now I'm working again.
Oh, I love it. And I'm so glad that you are. Josh, how about you from your perspective? Like, I mean, 14 months is not a long development window when it comes to something like this. So that alone is impressive.
Well, it's really been about 2 years, 2 years ago since I really began using ChatGPT, which at the time wasn't nearly as advanced as it is today, and certainly not as advanced as Zaria or Genius. But I knew that this was something different. Um, I knew that this would change the way that people work. So we've been building Genius as your companion for our customers right there in your admin panel. If you have a question, instead of doing a bunch of things manually, you just ask the AI. It's right there in your admin panel. If you want to make a change to one of your web pages, you just ask the AI. And Zaria is about taking that concept and bringing it to the larger business world and the larger content creation world. It's your companion. It gets to know you. It gets to know your content. It gets to know what you need for both your personal content creation and your business. And it's there to work with you and to help you. You're still doing the creation. You're still putting your creative mind to work to put yourself into your work, but Zaria is there to help you. Zaria is your companion.
Oh, I love it. Well, thank you guys for that sneak peek into the beginnings of the Zaria world. And essentially, I really want to just make this statement why it's so important to duplicate yourself is because at this point, we cannot do it all on your own. Like if you've been in business for any point in time, we realize very quickly that we in and of ourselves can be the bottleneck once we reach capacity. And if you look at it as far as a competitive marketplace, someone who may know less than you, who literally may not have the systems and processes, but is at least using AI, like they have the unfair advantage at this point. They will outwork you, they will outpace you, they will create you, they will outpublish you. And so at this point, it's almost like we don't have a choice to look at these systems that we can duplicate ourselves to multiply. So, I think it's important. You guys have met all of the players. You've met Robert and Josh. We've heard about George, Sarah, and I. But I really want to introduce you to Zaria. So, Josh, can she say hello?
Yes, she can. Um,
Do you need to share?
yeah, I'll
Okay,
go
let me
ahead
stop my share then.
okay.
All you, Josh.
Y'all get ready to have your minds blown.
Hey, Zaria, we are live. We're doing the webinar. Do you want to say hello to everyone?
Hello, everyone. I'm Zaria, and I'm thrilled to be here with you all. I'm looking forward to an exciting and interactive session today. Let's dive into all the great topics we have lined up.
Great. Do you want to tell everyone a little about yourself? Just a brief overview of some of the things you can do?
Absolutely. I'm Zaria, your intelligent virtual assistant. I can help streamline workflows, enhance productivity, and provide actionable insights. Whether you need assistance with generating content, organizing data, or automating repetitive tasks, I'm here to assist. I also adapt to your unique style and preferences, ensuring that the output always aligns with your goals. Feel free to ask me about anything you'd like to learn more about.
There we go.
Oh yeah, it is really, really cool. And I just, Robert, we were preparing for the workshop and the meeting and everything. And voice is such a huge, you were sharing the other day that even someone was already teaching, like, don't worry about typing or spelling or grammar or whatever, and get used to just speaking to your assistant. And it's just like, it's amazing because when you have stream of consciousness, it doesn't even slow you down. So the speech interaction is just really, really cool. So I hope that is a feature that you guys are using and experiencing even more. But I want to kind of give you a rundown on how we currently use it and on what we're going to focus on today. So for me and myself, I've used it for hiring and onboarding team members with clients to help with SOPs and streamline like just the requirements for the job posting and the responsibilities. And I'll tell you, like it just really shortcuts the projects. And I literally just say, this is who I'm hiring, and it fills in this. I have a template, it fills in the skill sets, it fills in everything based on how I tell it. I'm ranking the priorities of what we need. But I've literally also created client frameworks, presentations, my presentations. I'm launching my podcast. I planned my whole podcast launch, all of my marketing, all of my emails. I've literally created email sequences for clients, B-roll scenes for clients, video sales scripts, opening hooks, like everything from outputs that I sell as a service provider and how I need to organize and present, like anchor, authority, create my own like frameworks. It helped me create a brand new framework because sometimes, like if you have, I think things with with entrepreneurs is we have a lot of things going on all at once, and a lot of us like are ADHD or like we get shiny object syndrome. And the thing that I love about this is it has the database of resources, and it is just like ruthless focus. And this is a secret weapon for me because I can have streamlined focus on a lot of different things and still have less time spent and higher quality output. For Sarah, she's actually going to be moving to Thailand soon. So tomorrow during our deep research, she's gonna show how she's doing that and how she's used it to create high ticket back end offers from one-on-one consulting to productize her services. And so I'm really, really excited to dive into that. Josh is also really going down the deep research rabbit hole and actually putting Zaria to work and coding herself, right? So like that is his secret weapon on why these features get rolled out so quickly, because she codes them and she troubleshoots them and tests them. Robert, literally, we would be planning and talking and he would open up Zaria and be like, well, Zaria just created that. And so you're going to actually receive a lot of the training and SOPs. And it gets very meta because Zaria in and of itself is her own customer support agent as well. So we are really excited to share. Again, just in case you need this, here is that. We already shared the code for the credits. So I'm going to ask you guys, are you ready? Like, are you all set? Because I'm going to pass it over to Josh right now. And we want to make sure that you can log in and follow along with us and see what he is doing and literally start playing around in your Zaria account as well. So with that, Josh, are you ready to screen share and start walking everyone through?
I am ready. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm passing it over to you, and we're going to take a peek inside of Zaria and show you guys how to get started.
Okay. So once you create your Zaria account using the QR code or the link that Sarah posted in the chat, you can log in, and this will be the first page that you see. Now, the first thing that you probably want to do is help Zaria get to know you better. And this is why we created My Data. And My Data lets you add your information in so many different ways. You can just copy and paste any content you have here, but then we also make it easy to add RSS feeds from your blog, upload files. So let me begin. I have this PDF that talks about one of my products. It's a PDF that I wrote about Hits Connect, which is a business analytics service. But let's say that I want Zaria to learn about this. I want her to know how it works so she can write emails about it. She can write instruction manuals, whatever I need her to do. I'm going to go to Upload File, and I'm just going to name it. The name of my ebook is Know Your Visitors, and you can put it under a category. So this is important because you can ask Zaria to reference certain things. You can say, look at my ebooks to find out about this information, or look at my ebooks about analytics. I'm just going to call this ebooks. And now I'm going to upload that PDF that I just showed you. And just like that, when I go to my data, you can see that this system has broken it down into pages and it's uploaded the PDF that I was just showing you. Now you can see here's all the text. And right now, this is in Zaria's knowledge base. So that's uploading a PDF. You can also upload a Word document, whatever information you have. But let's say you want to upload your blog. So I have my blog here and I have a few blog posts. So WordPress gives you something called an RSS feed. And I'm going to get the link here. But I can go into Zaria under RSS feeds. I can paste in any RSS feed. This can be for a WordPress blog. It can be for your podcast, wherever you want Zaria to pull information from. And then I have several options here. I can set Zaria so whenever I post something on my blog, that new blog post automatically goes into Zaria's memory. So I don't have to upload my blog every time. As soon as the next time I go into Zaria and I start a conversation, she's going to know all of my latest blog posts. I can also have it so I just import what I already have. If I already have a blog and I have a lot of posts, I could have her just bring in what's already there. Or I could have her ignore what's already there and just look at what I post in the future. But I want everything. So I'm going to import all current and future entries. And just like that, when I go back to my data, here are my blog posts. They're right here in Zaria. So now when I start a conversation with any of my Zaria team members, she knows my blog posts, she knows my ebooks. I can just keep adding information and Zaria learns more and more about me.
Thank you so much. So do you want to talk about why the database is important? Because I know a lot of people, if you're advanced with AI and chat GPTs, you've built the GPTs, you've loaded and preloaded some things. But the thing about that I think is I'd like to talk about the distinctions of why setting up this way is different versus a specific GPT.
Yes, it is different because with setting up a GPT, yes, you can upload certain documents, but then your information is locked to that GPT. This is a database that you can just keep building and you can categorize it. You can make it easy to break down certain types of information by category. But now when you have any of your team members, and we're going to get into team members a little bit later, but you can have an ebook writer, you can have a blog post writer, you can have a webinar creator. You can have all these different team members and you can switch between them in one conversation, and all of those team members have access to anything that you put into your data. So you don't have to switch back and forth between different conversations. You don't have to reteach a new GPT what you've already taught. Zaria already knows that. You're consistently building up your database from different blog posts, different RSS feeds, different anything that you're putting in there. You're just constantly building up her knowledge base so she gets to know you better and better and better. So the content that Zaria creates for you keeps getting better and better.
I just want to point out, just as a quick inserted note, I know when I first signed up for Zaria, I instantly wanted to get in and like create team members and kind of go that route. The reason why we're sticking with uploading your data first is because those team members and Zaria need a reference to look at everything. It's like hiring team members, but then not giving them access to your past sales pages, your past emails that have been written. They don't know how your voice is. Is it more casual? Is it more formal? So that's why we start with this particular step of uploading and giving Zaria, what's in our Google Drives or Dropbox or wherever we've created these documents, putting it in there gives them a frame of reference. So tomorrow we'll be talking more about how to create your team members, but for today, getting that information uploaded into Zaria for the reference point to start the database, that's so super, super, super important. And I know a lot of you are going to want to jump straight to the team members. Don't skip this step. Don't skip this step because it's going to make your life so much easier.
I know we're going to do Q&A in a minute, but Kim, no, you can do your businesses by category. You don't have to have separate Zaria accounts.
Yeah, I was going to say, Josh, do you mind going back to screen share and kind of talking through this? Because I think a lot of people are going to see this and have that same similar question. And Sunny, this is where I would kind of like you to chime in and share. So Sunny's been with us like literally from the beginning, like from the inception of Zaria. And Sunny works directly with Josh and Robert as a client, but she also has other clients. So, like, she was the first OG guinea pig where it's like, use this for multiple clients and use this for multiple outputs and give us your feedback and share. So, Sunny, can you speak to that on adding the data and how it's categorized per client and how it's helped you with every client? Because it aligns to the same business. Multiple businesses are going to have, different voices, niches, offers, all of that type of stuff.
Yes. I have two main clients besides Robert, and they both do different things. One is an influencer and another one teaches in webinars. And the one that teaches in webinars has several different presenters that he does or that he uses. So I can upload transcripts into my data and have each presenter as a category. Then when I create the team members, their instructions are to only pay attention to this specific presenter. So if since I have two clients, then I can also upload all of the second client stuff. And for him, I make, oh gosh, emails, workbooks, sales pages, everything. And I always have that team member refer to only his documents in his category. Did that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. So we might need to bridge the gap a little bit and talk through this, Josh, with the categories, and then give a sneak peek and show the team members and how it's structured and the master prompt and the reinforcement prompt and all of that, just so that people can correlate what that is, and we don't have to go down the rabbit hole, because like today is all about first of all, activating, getting familiar with, the user interface, uploading some data from a project that you guys want to finish, and then literally putting the AI team members to work. So I'll pass it back over to Josh, and then Sarah and Robert, you guys feel free to talk through this too, because I know you use it different. Sarah and Robert, all of the applications of my data, although the concept and the uploading is the same, we all have different reasons for why we are doing it the way we're doing it.
Yeah, and that's very good. Yeah, Sunny's been working with multiple clients and creating all sorts of different content for over a year now. I think she's been using Zaria, so she can really provide some great insight about how to organize things. But that's why we created the categories. When you go to My Data, every time you upload something, when you click on categories, you'll see a drop down of all the categories you've created so far. But to create a new one, you just type in what you want the category to be. So if you want to create a new category for blog posts, you can do that, and then you can upload your content. And then you can see down here, as you go through your data, you can see I've got the PDF that I uploaded as ebooks, And then my blog posts are under RSS, but this can be whatever you want. You can create a category for different businesses. You can create a category for different clients. However you want to organize it, what's easiest for you. When you're talking to Zaria and you say, reference my ebooks, and you want her to look at your ebooks, or reference my information for this client, reference information about Robert or reference information about George, you can create a category for Robert and George. And just the way this works is, I know we're going to go into team members a little bit later, but when you are creating your team member, what you want to do is you want to make sure that the skill for user data is switched on. And this is enabled by default in all of our pre-built team members. When you're creating your own, this user data, this is what gives your team member, your Zaria, access to your database. So just make sure that enabled user data is enabled, and that's all you have to do. And then when you're having a conversation with Zaria, let me just go to this one, and I'll just start a new project. And then you can say, look at my ebooks and give me a summary about my content. I'm just going to ask her this. And this is the type of things you would say, look at my ebooks, and then you could say, write a blog post about this ebook and things like this. And you can see that she's come back and she says, it's about moment stats. And that's exactly that ebook, that PDF that I showed you earlier. And then she gave a summary about this. So all I had to do was say, look at my ebooks and give me a summary. And she went into my database and she saw that file that I uploaded, because that's there in my database. And then at any point in the future, when I'm talking with Zaria, I could just tell her to do that, and then she can pull that information into the conversation.
Kim, was that helpful? Everybody else, did that make sense on the categories?
Now, while I was doing that, I also put up a PDF file there, which Zaria created, the getting started user manual for her. Right. Well, but during the process of this, I'm going to be adding PDF files in there as we go through this. All right, for you all to download, so make sure you do. There's several more to come, so look out for them.
And as far as, the categories for running multiple businesses, I haven't played with it in Zaria yet, but I've got 3 businesses that I'm going to be using Zaria for. My personal method and how I organize like my current like Notion account and Dropbox and everything is that I have basically the acronym of the letters. So like my business is the Smart Business Owner. So the acronym is SBO. Then I have the t-shirt company, which is Sand Mountain T-shirts. So that's SMT. So you can actually go through and like name your company, and then like I'm going to have an ebook specifically for my consulting business. So it would be like SBO ebooks or SMT ebook, things along those lines, if you really want to keep that stuff like super separated.
Yeah, that's an excellent strategy, Sarah. Yeah, you can organize however it works for you, whether it's different businesses, different clients. You just list the categories that you want, you name them, what works for you, and then Zaria can see those categories and she'll understand. If you say, look at my ebooks for this client, she'll see that category and then she'll break it down, and then she'll go in and focus on that specific section of your database.
I mean, I don't know if I should say this, but here's a great thing with the RSS feed. I mean, if you've got competitors that are out there that run their blogs and you want to know what your competitors are doing, you go around and collect all their RSS feeds and feed it into Zaria, she will have a complete rundown of all that's being talked about in your industry. So you could say to her, okay, what's current at the moment? What is being talked about at the moment? You could be leap years ahead of everybody else creating content by knowing what everybody else is talking about.
Oh yeah. And you pair that with deep research. And I do that a lot for podcast research, where there's certain podcasts that I love. And, sometimes you get writer's block, or you've recorded your episodes, but you need that clickable, searchable hook, sexy title. And you can find the patterns in other successful podcasts. So like that RSS feed, like can feed right into that and literally create a workflow for that. So Josh, do you want to give sort of like an overview view of the whole dashboard and kind of just give a quick tour. And then I like to be 100% transparent, and this is 100% like we're coming out of beta. They, Robert and Josh and George have put together a legacy offer. I want you guys to have all of the information. It is not contingent on you joining the workshops. Like, you don't have to buy anything for day 2, day 3. Like, it is just 100%. Here's all of the information. Here is what they've put together for the legacy members. And so I'll be going over that. Then we will move into Q&A. And at that point, Sarah, I think we could invite everyone to be panelists if they want to come all on camera and off mute and have that discussion and things like that. And I want to roll up our sleeves and like share our screen. And if you're working on something, and upload your data. And then of course, to prepare for tomorrow, we want to choose one team member to work on the project that we're going to build together tomorrow. So does that sound good for everybody as far as next steps?
Well, one thing we can't do though is that if we try to promote them to panelists, they get disconnected from the webinar and then they have to rejoin it. So the best thing to do is if you have questions, please put them in the Q&A so that we can get them answered. We'll read them aloud and, you know, we'll kind of go back and forth that way. So,
Okay, got it.
yeah,
All
it's
right.
just one of the quirks with Zoom.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if we're done, if we check all of our list and we've been through all of that type of stuff, and then before we hop off, we can just add everybody for panelists and then exit, then we won't have to worry about joining back again, right? We do
But
it
one
that
of the
way.
things we were going to do before you do that was you were actually going to get me to show you the creating of those SOPs for prompts and stuff.
Okay. All right. So I just need the lay of the land. Let me get back to my slides so I stay on track. You know, I want to see everyone's beautiful faces. So, okay, back to sharing. Oh, Josh is going to do a quick overview. Then we're going to share, and then we're going to talk through how Robert's used it for literally to solve every problem that he has in business. So go ahead and share, Josh.
Okay. So I'm going to do a quick overview of this main dashboard here. I don't want anyone to get overwhelmed. The reason we've broken this down into 3 separate days is because it's really several different components here, and we don't want you to get overwhelmed. I just want to give you a quick overview. So we've showed you my data. This is the first place I'd recommend that you go. This is where you just upload your documents. You can attach your RSS feeds if you have a blog or if you have a podcast. You can do that so Zaria starts getting to know you. Then you would move on to my team members. These are the type of team members that you want to set up that you can work with. So we have some that we've pre-built. We have book writers, a content writer, a project manager, different things. But let's say that you want a copywriter. All you have to do is click add to my team, and this automatically adds the copywriter to your team so you can start having a conversation right away. Now, there's some more advanced options. You can tweak these if you want, and we'll get into a little bit more detail later on. But we've already pre-selected the best options for each different types of tasks. So we've already switched on, in the case of copywriter, we've already switched on the skills that we think would be best. We've already put in the promptings, which is the main instructions prompt, the reinforcement prompt, which I think is one of the most powerful features of Zaria under the hood, is that there's a certain behavior that you want your team member to avoid if you want to reinforce. This reinforcement prompt on top of the main instructions prompt reinforces that behavior over and over again throughout your conversation to keep your team members on track. So this is where you add your team members, and then my projects. These are your projects, or also in ChatGPT or Claude, you might think of them as your different chats or your different conversations. But this is really the different conversations that you're having with your AI. So if you want to start a new conversation with your copywriter, let's say you want it to write a sales page, this is where you would go to do that. And you would start a project. And this takes you into the chat interface, which is where you have the actual conversation. So you would start out by saying something like, and if you don't want to type it, you can just click the microphone here to speak it. You can say, hello, I want to write a sales copy about Zaria AI. And you would send it, Zaria AI. And now each of these team members are trained to get information. So, ChatGPT or Claude, you might ask for a sales copy and it would just spit out something generic. Zaria, these team members are trained not to do that. They're trained so the copywriter, the first step is to understand the target market. This way, in the end, you actually end up with really good results that are tailored to what your business needs. Yeah, this is just where you would go on to have a conversation. And then there's Easy Chat, which I showed you earlier, which lets you have a one-on-one conversation with your team member. And if you want to actually talk, you can click the microphone here, and then you can just say, hey, Zaria, are you there?
I'm here. How can I help you today?
And you can switch that on and off. So another thing that I noticed, like with some of the other AIs, your microphone is constantly on and it's not always easy to mute it. So I have a mute switch right here. So if you're having a conversation, you want to talk to Zaria one-on-one, you could just toggle that on and off and Zaria's listening or she's not listening. I think that covers about the main. Do you think that covers everything pretty well? Is there anything that I should go over in more detail?
Yeah, I think that's a great intro and kind of a tour of the dashboard and the functionalities and the projects and everything. And so in looking at the slides, essentially where we are at is for me and Robert to share. So what I'll do is I'll share an overview of all of the projects, and then Robert, I'll pass it over to you to share how you've been able to leverage and create the SOPs, and then we will keep flowing. So I want to share my screen and take you inside of my Zaria, because I want to show you all of the projects that I have been working on. And it is literally, I made a commitment to myself. I really wanted to understand this platform. I absolutely adore Josh and Robert. And anytime you get something new, you have to insert it into your daily habits. So like I just made a pact with myself as I'm going to open up Zaria just as I would if I would do ChatGPT or Claude. And I want to just show you guys really, really, really quick, if you didn't notice it, with what was going on for the brain type, because this is what was really incredible for me. Is you would get to choose the traditional base models, ChatGPT, Claude. We're working on other integrations, but then you get to choose like a primary brain type, more analytical, balanced, or creative. And so if you are creative and you need something to look at it in a different side of the brain that you're typically not, you can choose analytical, or you can choose balanced. And then when you get in here, you can choose personality type. I made a new team member the other day that was a funny copywriter, and oh my gosh, he's so snarky and I love it. But if you want to lean more towards compassion or enthusiastic, like incredibly encouraging, more formal, polished and button up, or more kind of straight shooter informative, I think that was the thing that when we start putting this and dialing it into our hands, leveraging, Claude and ChatGPT, and choosing which one we're going to lead with for those team members. So I just kind of wanted to give you an overview of that, because that was super important to me. But let me take you through my projects. I mentioned them really, really quickly. I did video hooks and B-roll, but it went into scripting, transitioning, what the intro hook is, what the value add is, like 3 ways to do this, or 4 things you can do today. I'm not going to click into these because it does have like client identifier type stuff. But I can share the way that I've set up projects. Webinar, nurturing 7 email sequence, what that looks like. Zaria helped us build this workshop. right? So you'll see a couple projects for that. I got booked for a corporate speaking opportunity for an Amplify Purpose workshop. And I literally took the transcript of that planning call, put it into Zaria, because I had all of my material, but I needed to customize it to the goals of the company and to the way that they wanted the experience to be. So Zaria literally took that. She took all of my frameworks and then she structured it to the outcomes that the company wanted. And it was literally within 15 minutes of the call, I was able to do all of that, send them a little updated bio for their company and a little like what to expect workshop for them to send out all to their team members. So like the workflow, it just got it done. And media buyer hire, referral programs, creating a meeting routine. A lot of our clients, we do 90-day planning. This is someone that we love, and they were going through a tough time. So I brought it over here in Zaria and like, what do they need to work on? How can they help in their life? This was something our mastermind needed. They needed names for signature cocktails. I brought it over here and I made AI do all of the heavy lifting. Case studies that I want to incorporate into presentations and keystone versus micro habits when I want to make little points for things. So these are all concepts that I really wanted to create and incorporate into my presentations, workshops, case studies, applications, and things like that. So I wanted to share from my perspective. I am just literally bringing everything that I can in here and having it do the heavy lifting. And this usually doesn't take days. It literally gets these things done and off my to-do list in a matter of minutes to a couple hours. So for me, that was really, really important. And the beautiful thing is my team can log in here and pick up at any point in time and then polish or pass between projects, between team members. Like we haven't even showed you that. And so maybe Robert, when you're sharing, you can show how it can pass between team members and everything like that in the projects, because that's another really cool feature that I love.
Sure. Okay. I mean, I'm just going to take 2 minutes to do this because I've rehearsed it. So we can get on to the Q&As. But yeah, that is an important piece. Okay, I'm just going to share the screen. I'm going to know this a bit about doing that wasn't there, so you're going to see something you're not supposed to. All right, so let's take a look.
We can see the Zoom.
Yeah. Okay. Oh no, I hate that when you can't move that. Okay, it's driving me insane. Come on, this stupid thing. Let's move that out of the way. Oh, that's easy, isn't it? Eh? Right, so let's open up Zaria. No, I got to move it again out of the way. There we go. All right, so so if we're going to go into, we'll look at one of my projects, the same. Let's do, let's look at the Zaria help desk because I'm really proud of that one. Cassie happened to mention maybe we could get Zaria to do her own support. And I went in and said, you know, this is a good idea. Let's sort that project out. So we've done that. But here's the thing, right? Now, down here is research assistant because I got her to do research. But as you're going through this, right, and so let's say you're creating a complete content product you want to do. So the first thing you do is just set out what the content's going to be and all that kind of stuff. So then you would want your ebook writer to come in and you would just put book writer, and then they would say to him, right, okay, you can see the conversation that we had with the project manager. Now we need to start writing these ebooks. Take ebook 1 and start writing it. And the ebook writer sees all of the conversation that you've had with everybody else to start with. Okay, and then you want, okay, well, it's time to promote it. So now you bring the copywriter in and say the same thing. Mr. Copywriter, review everything that's been said in this thread and start writing the emails. I want a series of 7 emails to promote this product based on everything that we've spoken about so far in this thread. You don't have to reteach it. You don't have to say to the copywriter, this is all the things we did. You can just, she can just go out there and read it and say, well, this is where we're going to start. That's really, really, really cool, I think. And it goes all the things, no matter who you pull in, they can have access to everything that's been spoken to before with all of the other members, all of the other agents that we're looking at. Now, I don't know of any other AI that does that. That is Zaria's secret sauce there, because now you have basically Slack channel. All of your AI agents are now on a Slack channel with you. Now, I mean, you joked the other day, Cassie, that when we were doing stuff for this webinar, we had a meeting in Zoom, and who did we pull into the Zoom meeting to help us? Zaria.
Yeah, we brought Zaria right into the Zoom meeting.
Right into the Zoom meeting.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's literally, you can have all of your AI agents work together and know what they're done. Now, I'm stupid. I'm nearly 70 years old. I don't do technology. Okay. And sometimes things like AI frighten people because how do I get it to work? How do I get it to respond to me? So I said, you know what? I've got an AI here. Let's ask the AI. So I told her, look, take a look at my prompts. I want you to tell me how to write my prompts better. Take one of my prompts and write it better. So she did. And I said, well, that's all very well. You've done it for me. Now, if I don't give you enough information, how can you write prompts? I want you to give me an example of why prompts are better when they're written like that. I want you to outline exactly what needs to be put into a prompt. I said, and then I want 1 to 10 things, everything that you should think about when you're writing a prompt. 40 seconds. And it kicked it out. Now I'm going to come out of screen sharing now. And I'm going to give you, because I turned that thread, we talked a thing where we're doing about prompts sorry, and I turned it into a PDF file. So you can all have access to that now. Everybody
Okay.
see that?
Yes, we see that. And then Josh.
So in that PDF file is a complete rundown of what you should put into a prompt, how you should structure a prompt to get the best out of it. And she's even given you examples. Not only that, but she tells you why it's better. I mean, the output is, people are going to write much better prompts with just that small PDF. And that takes away some of the fear, I think, because you only get out what you put in, and if you can write better prompts, you get much better stuff out of there. And we will come up to the help desk and stuff like that later on in the next two, how we created that and all that kind of stuff. But I am not someone who's technical, but basically Zaria and I have learned together. She's learned about what I do, and I've learned about how to use her better together, because she gives you examples and she will say, well, have you thought about this? And I'll very often say, whoa, hang on a minute, rewind. But let's expand on that idea. You're not left on your own. So there you go. And that's from my perspective, that's why AI is so exciting, and Zaria in particular.
Yeah, thank you. Nicole says you are now technical. That's right. Like with our like Zaria, everything's possible. And so Josh, I just want to let you know, some people may not be seeing the projects in their account. So I know you're behind the scenes working on that. So if you guys are pacing along with that, then he's working on it.
Yeah, I'm following the chat. I do see a few accounts need to be activated. So I'm trying to make sure that everyone's active, and I believe, yeah, there's yeah, everyone should be active. I see who joined today. But yeah, after that, once you create a team member, you should be able to create a new project.
Okay, so they need to create a team member first.
Right.
You need to click on add a team member first. That's the first thing you do.
Okay, perfect. All right, so really quickly, I'm going to share the founding member offer that they've put together. And then we are going to literally spend the next however much time that we need to answer your questions, to go through some things with you guys. But let me share with you this so that you have this information over the next few days that we're together. Founding member benefits. So you can go on and you can see like what the pricing is right now. And at any point, add that. But founding member is unique. It's not necessarily public. We're really only offering it to the people who are on this series of workshops first, because it's a really unique feedback loop that we want to create. So, and in order to do that, we want to give you guys additional credits to work with, and all these are lifetime benefits. So when you sign up and you lock that in, you get these additional credits. There is a Kickstart monthly workshop that we're doing a series for. We build it together live in the workshop, troubleshoot certain, things that you're trying to do. And then the skills, there is NCP database that we're going to be sharing with you. We'll probably touch on it maybe a little bit tomorrow, but also like with the future of AI. But right now, I think it's over like 200, 300 skills that literally can be incorporated into team members or plugins and connections and things like that. And as AI progresses and new skills come out or new unique team members need to be trained, they are going to be available sort of like in a online digital marketplace. And instead of paying full price, any new skill set that you want to add, you will get a lifetime 50% discount to that license or to that marketplace as they roll out. The monthly investment for the unlocked member price is $97 a month for Zaria. And it gets all of those things. The monthly workshop is the thing that I am most excited about, because we're literally as a group going to have that feedback loop where I'm trying to do this or I'm working on this project. And the thing is, like, Robert and Josh are right there with you guys. So if you have troubleshooting or you're building a custom team member, like, you're literally getting it done. So that is the offer. We can drop the link in the chat. We'll share the link via email. Like, this is not pressure or whatever. It is 100% informative to literally, if this is something that you can use in your business and you see the potential of it, absolutely grab the founding member price to lock in everything, because they're looking at different tiers in the future, and the founding members, like, it'll never be that low again compared to the other features that they're going to be releasing. So it's one of those things where it's just like right time, right place. For the handful of people who join or the first 100, like, it's absolutely definitely limited. It's not going to be readily available all the time. So with that, it is Q&A time, and we get to dive in and we get to answer your questions and make sure that you're prepped and ready for tomorrow, when we really start digging into the deep research and applying these projects.
And the other thing is, you want to be for the next two webinars, because the upcoming team members, 50% discount. You really need to see what we're actually planning to bring out to see how much that's a big deal. Okay.
All right, so let's get into we've got the Q&As here actually in the Q&A box. So if you guys are ready, I'll read them out and we can go ahead and get them answered. Kim is asking, once you've created a category, can that specific category be edited at a later time?
Yes. I was actually thinking about that. Now, when you create a data, you can't change the category, and that's something that I might update, because I think that would be something that's useful.
I think that would be very helpful.
So yes, I will make a note of that, because I do think that would be helpful.
Okay. Someone else is asking, so when you have the user data tab, it only searches the data you download, not all of the data on the user's hard drive.
Correct. Everything that you add to my data, everything that you upload there, or blog posts that you add, or YouTube videos that you add, once it's in your data, then it'll be able to search it and you'll be able to work with Zaria on it.
Okay. Someone else is asking, can Zaria access the internet like Google Books to download PDFs off the site?
Yes, yes, you can. And we'll talk more about deep research because, yes, you can search the internet. That's one of her skills. But we've also developed something called deep research that goes even further. And I'm really excited to talk about that.
Okay. Chad is asking, is there a function to link an email account for a team member to be able to draft responses?
Hmm. We are looking at integrating Google Workspace. That yes, a team member can send an email, but we're going to define that a little bit more into a skill that would make it a lot easier to use. That's going to be one of the featured things that's coming up.
Okay. Someone else is asking, why is it when they're downloading a book in PDF, it continues to buffer for hours? Is that a page limit to the PDF?
It shouldn't be. I'm not. When you say buffer, do you mean processing or is it just not uploading?
I don't know. It sounds like it's just getting caught in the upload buffer. Is what it sounds like from the question.
Okay, might be that might be something if you can click on contact us and send us a support ticket with the PDF that you're trying to upload. If you could send that to us, we'll take a look at that.
Okay. They said yes, upload buffer. So yeah, reach out to support and we'll get that worked out for you. Angie is asking, I tried loading a manuscript for my book in the My Data section and it gives me a blank screen. Does it need to be a particular format, for example, PDF or Word?
Yes, it should support PDFs and Word documents. Again, if it's one of those files, send us a support ticket with the particular file that you're trying to upload, and we'll take a look at it.
Sometimes if it's a very old word, if you're using an old word thing, she can't process that. But that's the only reason. If you've got updated word, then that shouldn't be a problem. A text file can also do text files.
Yeah, and make sure that your PDFs aren't like password protected or encrypted and things of that nature. They need to be easily open read.
Yeah, that's a big deal because if someone's created a PDF file that is locked, then she can't unlock it and read it.
Right. Okay, so we've got from Martin, if proprietary creations are created, who owns the rights to those creations?
Now, yes, we consider everything that you create with Zaria to be yours. That's a very something that we believe strongly in. So yes, your content belongs to you.
Okay. And will Zaria create a trust arrangement with the user? I had one created with Gab AI until the algorithm programmers found they were not a party to the arrangement, so they rewrote it so it would not honor the agreement.
I think as
Yes.
far as that goes, I think if you are dealing with someone else's copyrighted material and you're rewriting it as your own, like that's not a domain that Zaria has like domain over. Like this is sort of like a bridge to produce the content. I think in copywriting your own work, you're still going to have to consult with a lawyer. Though, you know, Zaria can consult you, but again, you're going to get those disclaimers where it's like, this is not a licensed attorney. Seek out legal counsel in your native, you know, state, country, all of that type of stuff. So I can understand another third party company not, you know, rewriting that arrangement because there's so many things that are outside of their control.
Right. And of course, laws and jurisdictions have got different jurisdictions have different laws and whatnot. So that's a little bit different. Someone wants to know, can Zaria read cursive writing?
That's a good question. She should be able to. If you upload an image, a photograph with cursive writing, she should be able to.
May I answer that?
Sure,
Yeah.
go ahead, Sonny.
Absolutely. There have been some documents like historical documents that I have uploaded that she has transcribed perfectly.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay. Kim is asking, how secure is the platform? How should we handle confidential info?
That's a good question. I mean, we'd like to think that it's secure. I personally don't have a background in cybersecurity, but uh, yeah, I would have to defer to somebody who's more of an expert in that field.
Well, I know that you've got an SSL certificate installed on there, so the
Yes.
connection's definitely secure. However, as with anything, I think the old adage really applies. Don't put anything on the internet that you don't want the possibility, even if it is infinitesimally small, to be shared. So like I definitely would not do credit card or account numbers, certain types of financial data. I don't think I would do that. I mean, I might, for me personally, if I wanted to analyze a business that I am thinking about buying, I would upload the financial reports into Zaria and ask for an analysis and have some discussion like that. But then I'd probably delete it right away just so that it's not floating out there. But I certainly wouldn't put my credit card information in.
Yeah,
No.
I think that's a good answer, Sarah.
Yeah. And that's something that we'll definitely be addressing more. Like I wouldn't put medical information in there, my own personal medical information. If I was doing research on like a condition that my doctor diagnosed me with, that might be a little bit different, but I don't think I would upload like my lab results and things of that nature, or a 23andMe report. I wouldn't do that. But I know the cybersecurity thing is a big deal, and I know that that's something that we're going to be addressing even more. So.
Yeah, those are great questions. And I would just say, like, it is an API with ChatGPT and with Claude. And so, like, we can control what Zaria can control, but when there's certain inputs and things like that, there's also some things where you've got the integrity of the other platforms that you're using too. So that's just really good advice. Do we have any more in the chat, Sarah?
Vicky wants to know if the founding member option to sign up is going to be available after the first of the month.
Well, we said no, but in Vicky's case, because she's an old customer, I am sure, Vicky, we can sort something out.
Yes. So just so everybody knows, the sign up link will be available until Sunday evening. And then after that, we are closing out the founding member level. So.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you for clarifying that. Each person's database is exclusive to that particular customer. So it's not like it's a collective database. It is unique and secure to
Yes.
that particular account. Yeah. All right, Chris is ready for the link. This is hilarious. We were like, you know what, going into this, we want people to understand they have the opportunity to have all of the information. I like sharing information out up front and letting people make the decisions at any point in time.
Chris,
So
it will
yeah,
be live tomorrow when you log in. We've
perfect.
deliberately not done it today because we want to make sure everybody knew that it's not dependent on you buying this stuff. Okay,
Yeah.
we want to do these webinars as a let's teach people how to use it kind of stuff. And then if we make great customers out of you, that's even better. So it will be live tomorrow when you log in, when you get your next, when you come to the next meeting.
Yeah. And we did that intentionally so that you do it in the right order, so that you get your data uploaded, so that you get off the ground running. And then tomorrow we add your first team member. So be thinking a little bit about, if I needed to hire somebody right now, who would I hire? Okay, that could be a content creator, it could be an email copywriter, it could be a graphic designer. Think long and hard and just choose one. Don't get overwhelmed. Just choose one team member that you guys want to be able to create tomorrow while we do the interactive workshop.
Don't do a Cassie, get excited.
I think I was blowing y'all's email up. Like,
I'll go, ah!
oh, it
All
was
right.
fun. It was fun. So Sarah, what are we in store for tomorrow?
So we talked about how Josh is going to be doing a lot more about the deep dive and whatnot, and I can't wait for him to share that because I'm using that for some of my projects. So Cassie's kind of been doing things like from the ground up with the operations manuals and everything else. I'm actually going the opposite direction. So with my consulting, it's a super high ticket offer. It's more than $25,000. But my thing is that I don't really have a marketing funnel. So I'm using Zaria to help me break down that 25,000 and to go backwards to create a high ticket offer, like a group coaching program, I'm still doing my one-on-one, but then I'm going to have like a group coaching program. I'm going to have a basic course. I've got a couple of books that I want to write. I need to get more into social media content and things of that nature, because I'm trying to pivot a little bit more from the one-to-one to, reaching more people with what I do, and making their businesses run more efficient. So I'm kind of going like that opposite, but at the same time, because of where I am in my life, I'm getting ready to move to Thailand. And so there's a lot to consider. I mean, there's different areas that I need to research, where do I really want to be living? Expat community, non-expat community. Do I really want to learn Thai? Which I do anyways, just for fun. And, doing the research on like the visas. I mean, because if you screw up your visa, you can get deported from the country. I don't want that to happen. That's not going to be fun. So I'm using the deep research portion that Josh has put together, and I'm like doing my visa research. I already have done the research on where I want to go, but I need to do some more research onto it as far as like, as a long-term foreigner in the country, what do I need to look for in the leases, for a 12-month contract? It's not the same as here in America. They actually negotiate their rent prices over there. We don't here. It's like you pay $2,000 a month or you go find another place. So I'm really, really, really excited to keep using the deep research portion of it and to add more to it. So I'm excited for tomorrow. I can't wait to show you, some of the ways that I'm using it, but I'm going to keep my portion kind of short only because I really want Josh to hammer in the deep research because it's just incredible.
Well, awesome. So with that, you guys, thank you for hanging out with us. We will be here tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern sharp. So please make sure it's on your calendar. We've got everything ready to go. You select, that top priority team member and bring that project with you, and we will get it done. So thank you very much, Josh, Robert. Thank you for your time. And I'm excited to see you guys again tomorrow.
All right,
tomorrow.
thanks, everyone.
Bye, everyone.